So to offer some suggestions, some guidelines for this period of time, which is it's quiet time, and so we'll leave enough space in it for you to all digest and listen inwardly and make use of what are just some steering points. And it's a kind of like it's a private time. It's also recognise that particularly if you are sitting at home on your own, there's a lot of people doing this. We're really not just associated with this monastery, but a lot of people doing this as something deeply sane and needed and communally felt in this practice, the various forms of this practice. This is the lifeline for your own well-being, and if you're looking after your own well-being, then your actions and speech will proceed in a way that you feel worthy, suitable. And this must be for everyone's welfare. And what's being suggested, as always, is for each of us to touch into the place of truth. Not to create a truth, but to touch into a place of truth, or where something in you feels, yes, this is. And a process of a kind of inquiry, which is obviously there are words, but it's pointing to something that's not about words. It's about a centre, having a steady centre, put it that way. Then we come into acknowledging our experience. We realise there's a lot of stuff moving around. Thoughts, feelings, impressions, memories, what the day's been about. This kind of stream. And right now, just knowing, acknowledging there is that stream. The very fact of acknowledging it puts you on the bank of the stream. In it, you're with it. Acknowledging there's a stream, could be pleasant, could be unpleasant, mingled, turbulent, dreamy. It's that shift. You can shift from the stream to acknowledgement without going into the details. So there's a separate current. There's the stream of circumstance, and there's also a place of acknowledgement. And this is the area we want to get more interested in and give more energy to. What you find supports that, because it's also non-verbal, is the experience of your body. It moves, you realise any thoughts will participate in the stream, will add to it. various outflows can go into that. And you can also step back. And what really helps, very simply, is while we sit or walk or stand in a very conscious way. And lightly sketching with your awareness. This is the legs, the back, the whole of it. So, the simple reference isn't to any particular sensation, but the whole. This is a body. There is this presence. Most people need some help with their back because the tendency of our normal life is to go into the front because that's where the sense organs are, the eyes, the mouth, the speaking, the encounters are all in the front. So we tend to be leaning forward. And so when you sit in meditation, very common to just be leaning over, head leaning over. And you just put your attention between your shoulder blades, as if your spine there is interested in moving in towards the heart. Just helping to, it helps the chest to open, draws the head back. And it lessens the imbalance where we're very much up in our heads, both energetically and psychologically. There's also this sentient body. It's there, or here. Make that as comfortable in this fully conscious way as you can. Relax your shoulders. Take a few breaths. Relax around your eyes and your jaw, your face. Settle your hands so they're not unconsciously gripping or twitching. Let them rest in each other. Touch sense is very fundamental to a sense of contentment and being placed. So maybe your hands one rests inside the other, so you feel that light tactile sense, your thumb tips touching, your fingertips touching, however that is, helps to keep you from drifting without gripping. It's a light anchor, sense of touch. Changing your energies, so with meditation we learn to linger rather than rush on to the next thing or analyze, just linger in what's been established already. Your body, sense of center, acknowledging the turbulence, movements of thought, emotion, memory. You've got, so you know that template. No hurry. And this may be all we want to do. Maybe enough. Just to let the stream flow past and be present. It's also useful just to start to put some filters on that stream. Just like we have a river and you put some kind of net so that the stream can run through, but the twigs and the rocks are not allowed to run through. The first filter you put on it is the ethical. Like being present. What is my sense of what do I really feel ashamed of or do not want to participate in on an ethical level? Maybe that's complicated. What do I ethically shy away from? Feel? Where's my sense of shame, conscience, concern, propriety? What's right without being righteous? Ask yourself that question in this meditative way whereby you're not seeking a verbal answer, you're seeking something like an emotional firming up. This is my value. Firming up, that claiming, firming up. One sense of value, virtue. The obvious examples, non-violence, honesty, and so on. But even more rudimentary than that, a sense of conscience, propriety. And as you pose that question or drop that suggestion into the stream several times, until you get a feeling for that, like an inner strength. Yes, an inner strength. No. And see if you can linger with that until there's even a feeling of like a bodily uprightness, bodily affirmation. It's a filter, so it really helps to filter out some of the rocks and rubble and junk from the stream. Maybe this is enough, but one can add another one, which is to do with value, like it's almost like what I want to do, or what would I like to bring forth. It could be, what would I like to encourage. It could be warm-heartedness, compassion, could be clarity, could be, I don't know, but there's a fullness that's possible. One doesn't have to be on the back foot, just fending off life, but you want to come into it. What would you like to come into life with? Ask the question, see if anything stirs. The process, if it works, is we drop that question in a few times, listening, sensing. And just even ask such questions. That itself affects the stream. We're searching for meaning. Rather than just circumstance. So with any of these, just the simplicity of body, presence, establishing the sense of ethical center, heart center. These are all centering suggestions. So it grants a kind of authority, and then we can use that. So the stronger, clearer, more established your center, your authority is, the more you're able to go into the stream and investigate and deal with some of these currents. So if you linger a little and open it up, what's happening? What's the nature of the stream? It's just sort of busy, buzzy. And rather than just clipping thoughts, notice currents which can have a certain emotional thoughts flow with them, particular where the mind moves off, and in that moving off, the centre subsides, it's no longer so strong. And these could be, one feels always annoyed, a bit angry, and some energy goes into that. Or one feels got a great idea, great idea, really got to work this one out. And energy goes into that. Centre is no longer so strong. Or one's unhappy, sad, disappointed. We mope or brood. Energy goes into that. These are quite normal experiences, and of course there are many more. Got to get something done. Got to fix this, sort that out. Busy. And how many of those do you find? What occurs is you go into it. Your mind stream goes into it. Centre, autonomy, authority is lost. So as they contemplate that stream, and then how many of those, as you feel the sense of, going into it, something says, is there something, things you can say no? Not to judge it, kind of righteous way, but to say, not now. Not now. It's using the word, something like that, enough, or not now, or even yet, yes, but yes, enough. Of course, enough. Just to maintain a sense of autonomy from these flows, from these outflows. Firming up. It's not a matter of disapproval or adding, disapproving emotion to it. It's quite cool that returning to centre, holding the centre. Enough of that for now. Can you practice that? Daydreaming. And using a simple touch like that, even if it only, you only get centered again for a second or two, and it drifts off again, runs out again. Still, you just keep, And the more you value and enjoy your center, hey, this is something beautiful here. helps to give you that autonomy and authority. And firm it up. A few more suggestions which you may pick up or let pass. There's a lot of energy in that stream. So we can't say no to energy. We just say no to the direction of it. And what this means in a way is you use your body to draw the energy back. So in other words, the more you step out of the outflow of the thought, the emotion, you sense body breathing as if the energy is shifting from the outflow back to the center, and your body acts as a kind of a fulcrum. It becomes quite strong, bright. This ability we have to move your awareness, your central awareness from the outflow, which is so often where it is in daily life, we're in that current, we're located in it, seems important, and it has an importance. And now we're going to shift that back to here, body, center, ethical sense, autonomy. In simple terms, it can mean just as you're saying, not now, to the outflow. There's a suggestion of how is your body now. All of it. This may help. And breathing out. This shifting of energy can be slightly disorienting, in some ways. So, breathing in, breathing out, following that as a smooth, soothing effect. Let the out breath be long, let the in breath be long. This helps settling and smoothing out energy. And yeah. Last suggestion, say any of these you can pick up or not. And with this let's go a little, if you can manage the process so far, so that you can acknowledge, you can even touch the stream, and your center is no longer lost in that. You can transfer the energy from the outflow back to the sense of center. Once again, inquire, suggestion, is anything preventing me from feeling happy, contented? Peace. You might think there's quite a lot. It's again a question, not asking for an intellectual answer, just touching into the feeling upset, feeling lost, feeling alone, feeling unhappy with oneself, anxious. And holding it. Sympathetically. So it's not flowing out into the stories and the agitation. It's a realistic and sympathetic holding, being present with, and staying centered without needing an answer. So the effect is non-conceptual. There's certain sympathetic steadying that occurs that allows us to feel what's felt. And not get lost in it. And that has an effect. Equanimity. And some understanding. So it's always good to feel one can conclude a session with taking other people into your heart, near or far, alive or dead. People you have difficulties with, people you cherish. Just bring them in, and in that sympathetic place,